Welcome to Speculative Skald, and I'm your host, Matt. And today I'm going to talk to you about finding the time. Finding the time to what? Well, finding the time to write, first of all. And secondly, a lot of these can be applied to reading. Now, I've got a list of 5 tips I'm going to give you. But first, let's talk about the time. That's the biggest bitch I hear from everybody. I don't have the time. I don't have the time to write. When am I going to do that? I have work. I have school. I have kids. I swear to God, it's there. You just have to find it. I have 2 kids. I have several pets. I have school full time, and I have a wife and my duties to my household. Yes, I'm kind of a stay-at-home mom right now while I'm in school.
Do you wear bras?
No.
Okay.
I leave that to my wife. But I still find the time. Now, I will admit I do have a little bit more leniency than other people because I'm taking writing classes, so I've got to write, otherwise I fail. So, but even before that, I spent 13 years running restaurants and working 50, 60 hours a week. It may not be a lot, but it's there. Take something with you everywhere you go. What something? Well, either something to write with, either a notebook, a notepad, or a composition book, or your laptop. Nobody's going to look twice at you if you take your laptop everywhere you go. Most people do anyway. You can even find writing programs for tablets, or your Androids or smartphones, whatever. Write when you have time. If you're waiting in the doctor's office, write. If you're sitting on the bus, write.
Toilet?
If you're on the toilet, take it with you and write. Now, there's another benefit to this, and it's and I have notebooks upon notebooks of ideas because I've seen somebody walk by that might make an interesting character. But even better is when you hear good lines, like anything somebody says, from kids, from adults, anybody, great lines, you can put them down on paper, and then you have them. But it's there. It's there for you to go back to consult, to research. If you have that notebook with you to take stuff down, you'll get the story done. The good thing about that is when you write in these little spaces in these 10 and 15 and 20-minute blocks, you will end up leaving yourself cliffhangers. And what's great about that is you leave yourself room to go forward, because it's a good preventer of writer's block. Tip 2. Have a realistic idea of your schedule. If you are a full-time student, full-time worker, full-time parent, all at the same time, you're not going to have a lot of time to write. And that's okay. It's not as okay if you're making a career out of it. But if it's just to write stuff on the side, know how much time you have, know when you have it, and then you can put yourself in a position to take advantage of that. When I was working 60+ hours a week, I worked night shift and was home at 3 or 4 in the morning. I didn't have a lot of time, but I knew I wouldn't be asleep. If I got home at 2, I knew I wouldn't be in bed until 3 o'clock. I would block out at least a half hour of that time, get on my computer, and write something down. If you've got something like that where you can't spend 3 or 4 hours a week to write, set down a block of so many minutes in a week, or so much time in a month. Always devote something to writing if you're serious about getting stories done at all. That is one of the most important things, is be realistic about your schedule and know when to fit it in. Do you have another thing about knowing your schedule is, do you have anything that overlaps? Because I certainly do. I have school, of course, as I talked about before, but I also have things like gaming. One of the things I do that, if nothing else exercises, is I write full background stories for any characters that come up in gaming, as characters I'm playing in like role-playing games or things like that. And I wrote stories about those characters. That's stuff that'll probably never see the light of day outside my gaming group, but it exercises my ability to write and tricks of prose and character development. Even if you only have the second Tuesday of every month from 3:23 to 4:48, use it. And think about things like what you're doing while you're watching TV. Do you watch shows where you have to be on the edge of your seat vested in it? Or do you watch something that you just kind of veg out in front of the TV? Because if you're doing that, you can have time to write.
Turn the TV off.
You don't even have to turn the TV off. I write all the time with the TV on. I like the background noise, and it helps me actually focus harder on my writing because I have to tune it out. Now, tip 3 is what I've been told is the most useful thing that you You must find your time to do. And you don't have to do it every day. You don't have to do it every week. If you can, you're awesome, and it's the best thing you can probably do for your writing. But it's called the AIC. That's ass in chair. Get your ass in the chair and write. Turn everything else off. No internet, no phone. Ass in the chair, write for at least 15 minutes. You stop being lazy. Show some commitment to your writing, and it will pay off. I swear it will. Tip 4, set deadlines for yourself. Now, I have deadlines for school and things like that, but a lot of times what I will do is I will set deadlines for a chapter count in a novel. It may be chapter count. You can set deadlines by page number. You can set lines by word count. Doesn't matter. Just do something. Say, I want to get so many words written by X amount of time. And there are plenty of software and computer programs out there to track that. I know there's some free or cheapest free ones out there for National Novel Writing Month that track your word count by day, things like that. And be serious about them, and be realistic at the same time. If you're one of those people that only has the second Tuesday, well, you're only going to write 15 minutes ass in chair a month, then your word count's probably going to be somewhere around the 200 area. If you have a more realistic amount of time, these deadlines will help you a lot. They will drive you forward. Tip number 5, so tell people about it. And this one is more subtle than anything you can do. And you may not think so because I'm saying tell people about it, but if you start telling people that you write, they're going to ask to read it. They're going to ask how it's going. It's going to be one of those little bullshit small talk facts that when they see you again, they will remember, oh, Matt likes to write. I'll ask him how his book is coming, how his novel's coming, how his short stories are coming. That helps you set a deadline. Well, I'm not quite done with this story yet, but I can probably get you a rough draft next week if you're still interested in reading it for me. And that also starts to build your network and your feedback. That's all the tips I have for you on finding the time to writing. I'm sure everybody has their own little tricks and hints and ways. If you want to leave me some, you can leave it in the comments below. Or if you just want to be trolly, or if you have any questions or comments about this vlog in general, I'll be more than happy to look over them, and maybe if they're good enough, I can put you on here with me. So, I'll see you next time on Speculative Skald. My duties to my household, yes, I'm kind of a stay-at-home mom right now while I'm in school. But regardless...
Do you wear bras?
No.
Okay.
I leave that to my wife. And so...